previous lecture, you started to understand one approach to innovation based on customer needs. Now you may wonder how an understanding of those needs ends up influencing the process of innovation. The heart of that answer lies in understanding product specifications. Hi, my name's David Monkton, lecturer agribusiness at the University of Tasmania. I've prepared this lecture in association with Greg Clydesdale, Senior Lecturer, Lincoln University, New Zealand. Product specifications, or product specs, basically are just ways to say, here is how we're going to measure whether a customer need has been met or not. When you gather customer needs, you look broadly because you don't know where inspiration for an interesting angle will come from. The same goes for product specs. Start broadly. When you get to the ideation phase, when concepts are generated, you have a broader palette of options that can get you to thinking about how to solve a customer's need in a better way than anything currently on the market. A product specification consists of two parts, a metric and a value. The metric is what is going to be measured. The value is the target that you set that once it's met, you view the customer need as being met by the product's design. Product specs are precise, measurable descriptions of what the product has to do. Product specifications do not detail how the product needs to do it. So why do we focus on what and not how? Your purpose here is to set goals for what your product needs to achieve. In many jobs, key performance indicators let you know whether you are doing your job or not. Same goes for products. Another way to think of a product spec are the KPIs of your product. They measure whether your product is doing the job it has been designed to do. At the same time, you don't want to limit yourself in how that goal is achieved. Think of any goal you set for yourself, and you might think of 8 ways to get there. As you investigate different ways that a form can come together or types of technologies that might be relevant, you might come up with 10 or more than that. If you start out with the process with only one approach, what happens if you find out that someone else is already doing what you're thinking of, or perhaps the way you think design aspects will fit together might not work? Cast a wide net. What you establish now as target specs will undoubtedly change before you get to the point of commercialization. Right now, you're setting goals, and the goals may shift a bit as you gain information about what is possible to achieve in terms of engineering, being profitable, and differentiating your product from those of the competition. Set target specs based on customer needs and benchmarks. Develop metrics for each need. Set ideal and acceptable values. Note, there can be must requirements not expressed by customers. For example, regulatory approval requirements would be incorporated into the specs, even though these may not be included in the list of customer needs. Let's go back to our Growing North example from the first lecture in this module. The basic idea was that a greenhouse was being built for vegetable production in northern Canada. Assume you have discovered that the list of customer needs on the left were the key ways your product might differentiate itself from the current situation. How could the design work towards helping customers with the affordability of their produce? The design is going to aim to lower production cost to less than or equal to the costs of production in warmer areas of Canada. At this stage, we don't know how to achieve that. That will come later. We do know that it is a goal that we're shooting for, and we have an idea of how to measure whether we've achieved meeting that goal. Same with the community's need for the production to be sustainable. How do we measure whether we meet those expectations? Through measuring the energy used. We'll aim for 3 to 4 hours of sunlight being sufficient to maintain temperatures in the greenhouse. Again, we don't know how we'll get there yet, but we're setting the goal. While some product specs are quantitative, like the number of metres of visible production space that customers can see from the outside of the greenhouse. Others are qualitative or subjective, like recognising a designer's need to instill confidence in customers. In summary, product specs are goals set for how your product will meet customer needs. And there lies a driver for true innovation. What are the many ways that you can envision those goals being met? Thank you.